Hi friends, welcome back to Faithful Grace. It's October and I'm so ready for all of the cozy vibes, warm drinks, candles, a little chill in the air, and of course, some good faith-filled books to curl up with. Like honestly, this is one of my favorite times of the year. There's nothing like being curled up with your nice, cozy, fall-themed blanket, reading a nice, warm, cozy book. I picked 3 books to read this month that fit into my whole cozy, redemptive, faith-deepening theme that I've been in. And then I also have, I believe, 2 hopefuls that I would also like to get to this month. I will say I don't have any physical copies of any of these books, so I will be reading all of them on my Kindle. I also might check out my local library to see what books they have in stock, so then maybe I'll get to read some physical and some on my Kindle as well. I love these cute little Kindle book sleeves. I think they're just such a fun accessory for your Kindles and books. I will have a link to them below. So I just have my Kindle in here right now. So I believe that this is starting off strong. We are starting off strong with Redeeming Love by Francine Rivers. I've actually already started reading this book this month. This is a retelling of the Bible story Hosea. So if you are familiar with that story, this is a great fictional way to see it from a different point of view. Or if you're not familiar with that story at all, I feel like this is a great start to get into that story if you're interested in getting into it before reading it in the Bible or reading it alongside the Bible. I feel like Redeeming Love is like one of the classic romance Christian novels. Honestly, truly, I feel like Francine Rivers as an author is one of the classic Christian fiction romance authors. It's like a rite of passage that if you're getting into Christian fiction, you must read a Francine Rivers book. And a lot of times I always see people starting with Redeeming Love. This will not be my first Christian romance novel, but this is my first Francine Rivers book. So like I said before, this is a retelling of the Bible book Hosea, and it's raw, emotional, and just so filled with grace. You have this woman who's just been through so much pain and emotion, and she gets pursued by this man who just refuses to give up on her. And through it all, you see this beautiful story and message about how God never stops chasing us. I feel like anyone who picks up Redeeming Love can relate to it in some way, shape, or form. Maybe not in the same way that the message is being relayed in the book Redeeming Love or in the book of Hosea, and maybe not even in a romantic sense at all, but I feel like for the most part we've all been to a place in our lives where God is calling us or leading us to do something, and it's just not making sense in our head, and we might even question like, God, why would you be calling me to do this? Are you sure this is the right thing that I should be doing? You may even sometimes be like, I feel like he might have got it wrong this time. Or you might be on the opposite side where God is bringing something positive into your life, or trying to bring something positive into your life, or bring you to a place and you want to keep running from that thing. It's not a light read, but it's definitely one that will have you reflecting on God's love in a real way. This is definitely one that I would read when you have enough time to read it, maybe in the evenings before bed, drinking a warm cup of tea, and maybe even have some tissues nearby because it is pretty emotional. The next book on my October TBR is In the Field of Grace by Tessa Afshar. I've been told that if you are a fan of Francine Rivers, or if you are a fan of Redeeming Love, that Tessa Afshar is a great next author to dive into. This one feels like fall in a book. It feels so gentle, humble, and full of warmth. It's a retelling of Ruth's story, and if you've ever felt like you've been in a waiting period or season and trying to figure out where God is leading you, this one is for you. It's the kind of story that reminds you that even if you don't know what God is currently doing in your life or for you, He is always working behind the scenes. In Boaz, he's like the blueprint of a man who loves with so much patience and integrity. I'll probably read this one in the mornings. It feels like a great way to start your day alongside my devotionals with a nice cup of tea or coffee and my morning breakfast. For this next book, we're switching it up just a little bit with The House on Foster Hill by Jaime Jo Wright. So if you're someone like me, I love this time of year. I love the theme of this time of year, and I do still like to get into that spooky kind of vibe without actually getting too spooky. So I did want to include a mystery book for my October TBR this month, and so I feel like this one will be the perfect one. It's got that moody fall vibe, but it's not like dark, you know? It's suspenseful but still rooted in faith and redemption. It follows two women, one from the past and one from the present, and they're somehow both connected to this abandoned house. There's mystery, grief, and still that theme of God bringing light into a really dark place. If you like stories that make you think and still give you that mystery goosebumps feeling, you should read this along with me this month. For the two hopefuls that I hope to get into this month, I want to read the book of Ruth to go alongside the book by Tessa Afshar that I also will be reading this month. I feel like it'll be a great way to see how it's retold by the author and then see the actual telling of the book in the Bible. And then lastly, I have The Life-Giving Home by Sally and Sarah Clarkson. This one is about homemaking and putting more meaning into your home instead of it just being a place that you eat, sleep, and spend time in during the day. So I'm super excited to read this one as well, just to get some more tips, tricks, help, and maybe even a different perspective about when it comes to homemaking and caring for your home. So that is my October TBR. I think that's such a great way to fit into that theme of looking for God's grace even in the messy parts of life. Let me know in the comments what y'all are reading this month. If you've read any of these books, let me know your thoughts on them, or if I have inspired you to read any of these books, maybe we can read along together and chit chat about them as we go. That is all I have for you lovelies today. Don't forget to rest, stay cozy, and stay rooted in grace. And I will see y'all in the next one. Bye.